Meeting to order the August 26, 2026 Palm Beach County Transportation Disadvantaged Local Coordinating Board meeting to order. The Palm Beach MPO is conducting this meeting both in person and virtually via the Zoom platform. Instructions to join the virtual meeting as well as contact information for assistance are also provided and published in the meeting's agenda. Will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance as stands.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Staff, please call the roll so we can establish a quorum.
At this time, I'm only asking those board members attending in person to respond by saying here when I call your name. I want to remind you to unmute your microphones by pushing the button on the base prior to responding. Alternates, please also state your name if you are representing a board representative. DeAndre Poole,
Present.
Windang, Millery Senate, Jerome Hill, Michael Corbett,
Here.
Adam Rebeck,
Here.
Marlene Ramnon is excused. Laura Schultz is excused. Isis Williams is excused. Ariel Richardson, Tatiana Gilliard, Robert Goodman is excused. Judy Shanley, here. Nancy Yarnell. Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Are there any modifications to the agenda?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. Are there any changes to the minutes? Not, I'll ask for a motion to adopt the minutes as presented.
So move.
Okay, Wynn moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Michael. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Seeing none, minutes have been approved. Thank you so very much. All right. Instructions on how to provide public comments are also included in the agenda as well. Staff, have any comments been received?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so very much. I just have very brief comments, and certainly I'll invite any board members to make comments on any non-agenda items. Just remember to mute yourself. I did attend the county presentation this morning of the countywide master plan. That is a work in progress. My understanding is that the commission will receive and file, but they will come back at a later date and provide some additional feedback. It was a 2,000-page document that was submitted for review. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure is that there are any issues that were pertinent to the role of this committee to ensure that, that the voice is heard. One of the things I was happy to hear certainly was that the MPO certainly would play a role in terms of making sure that any issues or any plans, that those will also come to the MPO. Now, we're not the MPO board, but I do serve on that board. This is an extension. But it was good to see that. Hearing some of the plans, I thought it was very interesting that one of the active recommendations that I do recall hearing was a couple of the commissioners mentioned making sure that there is an investment in public transportation, because that is a good investment. Because yes, there are a lot of people that still drive in this county, but education is one of the things to educate people on a lot of the opportunities that we have with public transportation and how to access it, how to use it. Then there was a conversation on coverage, I believe that's the correct word, versus frequency. And there was some clarity that was brought by some of the staff members to say the system in this county has we've never, and Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we've never had a plan that was focused on frequency, right? But it's been focusing on making sure that there's coverage. So in terms of moving forward, some of the points that were outlined in this plan had to do with identifying certain areas where there is a need for frequency, where there is a heavy population of people in specific areas that will utilize the services. In addition, there is support for the Glades community as well. And those paratransit services are also very much a part of that and strengthening that in some ways. So it is an ongoing process. And so we'll have to see where things go, and I'll continue to participate, listen in, and be able to bring that back to this committee as well, and talk to perhaps at some point, if we needed to talk to some of the folks on that committee, just to ensure that we're doing our due diligence. All right. Any other questions or comments from any committee members? It's open. The floor is open now. All right, I recognize Judy.
Hi, Judy Shanley from Easter Seals. I was curious whether that plan, that master plan, is an opportunity to integrate some of the other work going on around planning here, like Vision Zero, Complete Streets. It seems like that has a lot of weight and potential for the community. And so is there any way that we could help educate the commission to ensure that there's an integration of all of these plans?
Yes, I know we have the answer to that question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Brian Reuscher, Deputy Director of Multimodal. Do want to respond to a few notes. Nailed the coverage versus ridership model on the head. You know, the principles that, you know, transit success is driven largely by ridership, not necessarily by providing everybody everywhere a ride. And then to respond to the other note, just wanted to make sure that there's two things that are related. First is the county actually adopted a few weeks ago the Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, which will be folded into the county's Transportation Master Plan. That plan identifies 5 of the highest crash corridors and systems that are countywide. So that's obviously a very large geographic scope. The county safety action plan looks at predominantly county and state roadways. We also have a Vision Zero action plan, our long range transportation plan, and of all the agencies that exist in the county, I would probably say that we've been one of the most vocal about incorporating our plans into the county transportation master plan as well. So there is a very strong emphasis on plan consistency that we have, and really a reliance on the MPO to make sure that plans are consistent, for the reason that if any agency that is a county or a city or otherwise wants to adopt a plan which is inconsistent with a peer agency plan, we find it very hard to provide what's called planning consistency and to prioritize federal funds for those projects. So we have a very strong emphasis on aligning those plans with ours. The 561 plan is included as part of the plan. There are concepts that we're still working through and trying to ensure that they are consistent with our core planning documents that will need to be reflected. And my understanding of the board is that they're going to be bringing the Transportation Master Plan. I was listening to it over lunch, but they're bringing that item back on September 24th for some additional work from the consultant, for additional, really what needs to happen next is implementation focus and look at what's feasible based on a cost analysis, not necessarily what all of the projects everywhere seem to be. So happy to do a debrief in more detail if you'd like to hear more, but that's all I have for now.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Yes, recognize Adam.
Oh, yes. Just curious, did Tri-Rail come up this morning? And if so, like in what capacity?
I watched from 12:15 onwards. So I missed the first part of the meeting, but if anybody else who was present.
What was the question?
Just if Tri-Rail was discussed as part of
I
this
did not
morning's.
hear. I was
okay.
there at the beginning. I didn't hear try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
So you have the beginning and the end. There might be some missing information in the middle, but I know it's come up a few times, specifically the funding at our governing board. We are waiting to hear from the state how they plan to execute the Florida Rail Enterprise Fund grants statewide to utilize funding that was attributed for passenger rail operations in that fund and how that's going to play out. Our expectation is that the counties for SFRTA Tri-Rail, as well as the Sunrail in Orlando, will likely need to come to the table with some form of, here's what we're offering to seek out state funds to utilize that funding. But we're waiting on the official word from DOT before we go beyond that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right. Want to recognize also that Ariel Richardson has joined the meeting. Right. Thank you. Okay. All right. We're moving on now to our liaison report. I'll invite Margie Tamblin, our MPO Senior Multimodal Planner, to review the liaisons report.
Good afternoon, everyone. So good to have you here despite the rain. So for August 2026, some upcoming events that we have coming up and things to keep on your radar. The e-bike and micromobility best practices webinar will be hosted online on September 3rd from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And you can register online at our website. A great place to talk about all the things that are happening e-bike and micromobility related. I know it's a big topic of concern here in our state and then also across the country. The commission business meeting is the next item, and the next meeting for that is on September 17th at 2 p.m. Details to join the meeting virtually will be posted on the FDOT CTD calendar on their website. So fdot.gov/CTD/CTD-calendar. Parking Day is the next thing that we have. It's celebrated across the world on September 18th to temporarily repurpose curbside parking spaces and to convert them into public parks and social spaces. And to learn more about that program, and if you're interested, myparkingday.org. Walk and Roll to School Day, a great event for National Walk and Roll to School Day, is on October 7th. To learn more and to see who's participating, you can find more resources online at walkbiketoschool.org. The Florida Public Transit Association Conference will be held in Orlando on October 25th through the 27th. For more information about that and to register, floridatransit.org. Safe Mobility for Life, for those of you that aren't familiar, FDOT has a coalition for aging road users, and there's educational materials that are translated, things to show you how to navigate a roundabout, how to find a ride, all kinds of stuff on their website, Safe Mobility for Life or safemobilityfl.com/resource center. And to get involved and to stay informed about what we're up to see our resources, discover opportunities to participate in various things and parts of the planning process, you can visit our website, palmbeachmpo.org/participate. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Are there any public comments on this particular item?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. We will now move our agenda to our action items. We have our first action item. We have a motion to elect a vice chair for fiscal year 27. I'm going to ask Brian Rusher to come forward, our MPO Deputy Director of Multimodal, to present this item. Is that it? Okay, just
All right,
need to clarify.
it's fine. We'll do it together.
Yeah, so this is a joint item.
Yeah.
So every year we have to nominate a vice chair. So consider this your organizational meeting. You have a recently appointed chair. We have turned over a grant cycle. You have lots of things that you have to get through today that will set the course for how you operate over the next year. The first thing being your vice chair that can serve in the chair's stead and sign for things when the chair is absent. This is a very straightforward process, thankfully. We've been fortunate enough to have Wen Dang as a vice chair for the past few years. Normally what happens on any given year is we just confirm that that person would like to proceed or seek other nominations. So at this point, Mr. Chair, I'd recommend the floor be open for nominations for vice chair, and then the committee takes a vote on that.
All right, thank you so very much. Staff, are there any comments on this particular item? All right, seeing none. Do any board members have any comments or questions for staff before we move forward Seeing none. Okay, is there a motion seeking a motion to elect the vice chair for fiscal year 27? Okay. Are there any nominations from the membership? Okay,
Would anybody like to express interest in serving as the vice chair?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to express my interest to continue to serve as vice chair if the board have me. I've been serving on various different MPO boards in the past 15 years, so I'm very comfortable taking on these duties.
all right, we have one nomination. Wen Dang has offered herself to continue in the role. All right, are there any others? Seeing none, we'll close nominations now and we will ask for a motion. I have a motion to accept Wen Dang as vice chair for
Milo
fiscal year
Ibushi.
27. It's been motioned by Miller and Senate. Is there a second?
Oh, yeah, second.
Second by Adam Rayback. All right, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Seeing none, motion is carried. Congratulations. Win on another year. Okay,
Thank you, Chair.
thank you very much. All right, now we're gonna have our Margie Tamlin come back again to present on our next item, which is adoption of the 2027 bylaws, committee bylaws.
All right, good afternoon again. So we have the fiscal year 27 TDLCB bylaws that we're going over today. Essentially, these just guide the operation of the LCB, the local coordinating board, and it is provided with guidance from the Florida Administrative Code, Chapter 427 to be specific. It also sets requirements for the TD services that are provided throughout the county. And per usual, there are no substantive updates this year. And in regard to the ethics in the government in Sunshine, some basic elements that we have to consider when we have these meetings for our LCB and otherwise is that these meetings of the board need to be open to the public, which they are here. Our doors open, and we post post the meetings on our website to let people know when we're going to have the meeting. We provide reasonable notice to all of you and to anybody in the public that would like to attend. We do a newspaper ad. Minutes for the meeting are taken, thanks to Ruth. So we have all of those things covered, at least to cover the ethics in the government in the Sunshine. And some reminders. So our meetings take place quarterly, typically August, October, March, and June. That can change, but of course, we will give you a lot of notice in the event that it does change. Attendance, we expect members to be in attendance at our meeting. Membership is automatically rescinded after 3 consecutive unexcused absences. And if you can't attend, just let us know one day in advance. You can let me know, Ruth, Brian, just send us an email and that'll cover it. So you'll have an unexcused absence. And then for a quorum, in person's presence is necessary for 1/3 of the voting members or their alternates for a quorum here. And with that, I'm looking for a motion to approve the fiscal year 27 LCB bylaws.
Members of the committee? Right, there's no questions. I'll ask for a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2027 bylaws. No further discussion. Motion, I ask for motion.
So move.
Okay, is there a second? Thank you. Judy's been moving properly. Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Seeing none, motion carries. Thank you so very much. We will now move on to our motion to adopt our grievance procedures. I just asked for reference point to see who served on the grievance committee previously. We had Jerome Hill, Michael Corbett, and Ariel Richardson served on that grievance committee for fiscal year 2026. I thought it would just make sense if we continue that, unless someone would love to serve on this particular committee. I just would suggest we just continue with what we have, unless somebody else would like to serve. Okay.
One thing, Jerome's not here, so we probably have to fill that. We have to fill that spot with somebody else because we can't volunteer him, unfortunately.
Okay. Yes, I understand that. Oh, too well. Well, are there any nominations, or we'll open it for the floor? Anyone want to nominate themselves or make a recommendation?
What's the commitment for the
Um,
committee?
Go ahead, and
We have
that
a whole PowerPoint I'll run through in a second.
Yeah.
To kind of give you guys an idea of what that looks like.
we'll go ahead and go to the PowerPoint, and then we'll do the vote afterwards.
All right. So essentially, the grievance procedure is basically if there's any complaint that is received to Palm Train Connection, they have it. And there's a step 1 and a step 2. So the complaint is filed, and Palm Train will receive that complaint. If the complaint does not go through that cycle and is unresolved, basically, then it'll come to us at the Palm Beach MPO and to the grievance subcommittee. However, in the past, 5, maybe even longer, Ron, you can correct me if we've had one, I don't know, in the recent past, but as far as I know, we haven't had any grievances come our way. The last members that served, we didn't call you for any subcommittee meetings. So typically, we don't have a subcommittee or like a grievance, like thing that we go through, essentially. Ron?
As you see from these steps, usually we handle any situations well before they need to become a grievance.
Yeah. And I'll walk through the guidelines or the table here too, the flow chart perhaps. So they'll receive the CTC or the Palm Train Connection will receive the complaint. They'll do some interviews, depending on what type of complaint it is. If it's a safety complaint, they have 24 hours to respond. If it's a non-safety complaint, they have 48 hours to respond to the individual that made the complaint. They'll conduct and review some evidence and do some interviews as well. Complaints are ruled. And they will also ask the contractor for some information as well. And they will provide a notice of the resolution. So whether things are resolved, then we're set, right? Step 1, complete. If it's unresolved, then it will come to us, and then we'll do a formal process and look at the complaint. We'll contact the subcommittee eventually, but yeah, we have to contact the grievance party. We have to meet with the involved parties. We have to report back to the grievance subcommittee. And if it's unresolved from there, we have 10 days to set a hearing, to reach out to the subcommittee members as well in 5 days, and then 10 days to submit a written report to the LCB chair. And if it's unresolved from there, then we will file a complaint with the state. So usually it doesn't get there, but we are looking at least for 1 volunteer for that because we have our other 2 set. So is anybody interested in volunteering? You're interested? Okay, perfect. So Judy's in, it looks like. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you so very much. All right, so we have we will continue with Michael Corbett and Eric Richardson, and we will add Judy Shanley in replacement of Jerome Hill. So I will now ask for a motion to approve our grievance committee, which consists of Jerome Hill, Michael Corbett, and Eric Richardson. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Okay, been moved. Is there a second? Okay, been moving properly second. Adam seconded, and Wynn made the motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Seeing none, motion carries. Congratulations, Judy. Congratulations, Michael, and congratulations, Ariel, for your service on the grievance committee. All right. We are working pretty good today. Let's take another look at agenda item D, motion to approve fiscal year 2027 transportation disadvantaged service plan. And Margie, you're ready.
Yeah,
Right
I'm ready.
ahead.
I'm here. So the Transportation Disadvantaged Service Plan, we typically do an update every year, and this is a minor update for fiscal year 27. So let's take it away, shall we? Partner roles. So the CTD, they provide a final review of the TDSP. Us, the Palm Beach MPO, we update the TDSP annually. Palm Trend Connection provides us with some data and coordination of the related elements within the TDSP. And then all of you have reviewed the TDSP and will approve it today. So some key elements that we have in the TDSP, we have the development plan, we have the service plan, and we also have some quality insurance in there. And major updates will take place next year in fiscal year 28. And in the past, they took place in fiscal year 23. So some of our partners that we have, so we have federal partners, state partners, regional partners. We had work at a regional level with Miami-Dade, Broward, and then we also work a lot with local agencies as well. And two of those local agencies that we work very closely with and are in a part of this TDSP plan are Palm Tran and Tri-Rail. And also to mention that we do work regionally and plan regionally a lot, but we have a lot of impact locally as well. So the service area for Palm Tran Connection, there's two breakdowns of Palm Tran Connection, the service. Standard connection is a three-quarter mile buffer of the fixed route service, which you can see in the gray. That is just the buffer of the fixed route line. And then the Connection Plus is county-wide. And back for our CTC evaluation meeting in June, we had some questions about zip codes and origin and destination. And those trips were from March 1st, 2025 to February 28th, 2026. And the top 5 zip codes account for 52% of the total rides. So it's about 460,000 rides out of the nearly 80,000 rides. And those zip codes are 33407, Riviera Beach and Mangonia Park, 33461, Lake Worth Beach and Palm Springs, 33411, West Palm Beach and Royal Palm Beach, 33467, Western Suburban Lake Worth Beach, and then 33463, Lake Worth Beach and Green Acres are included in there. And you can see the service area in the yellow, and the bluish green kind of indicates, or the bluish gray, I should say, indicates where there's a higher number of trips. And then some more information. This slide might look familiar. 84% of the trips are within the required service area. So within that Palm Tran Connection space, 16% are outside of the required service area. And that is the Palm Tran Connection Plus. Again, that total ride number was 880,000 rides nearly. And then the top zip codes, again, I mentioned before, and some top destinations, the Mid-County Senior Center, Arc of the Palm Beaches, Palm Beach School for Autism, Boca Habilitation Center, Arc of Palm Beach County North Campus. So those are some of our top locations. And some of the connection services that we have with Palm Tran Connection, they use Lyft. There's a Go Glades program that services the Glades. There's BusLink, UServe as well. And we are fortunate in Palm Beach County to have a connection with St. Lucie County, where we have the Port St. Lucie Express bus that takes people from St. Lucie County all the way south to our intermodal hub. So that's great. Some historic approvals. People will apply for the TD service. And obviously pre-COVID, we had a good amount of people that were applying and that were accepted. Things kind of tanked down in 2020 and even further in 2021. And it looks like more recently, 2024 to 2025, we've had a significant increase in the number of people that have been applying and those that have been approved as well. And as you all may know, January 1st, 2026, there were some service changes to kind of solidify what service means what. So connection is, again, the three-quarter mile buffer for the Palm Tran Connection service area that is federally required. Personal care attendants are allowed on that, and there's an eligibility period. So whether you're more permanent or you have an acute condition that could require you to reapply. Visitor documentation is also required, and there was a fare update. So from $3.50 to $4 now for that. Connection Plus is outside of that three-quarter mile buffer. Trip prioritization is involved as well. It's the same fare structure, so it is $4, and there's a negotiated pickup and drop-off time, and it's comparable to the fixed route network. So some key observations to keep in mind within the TDSP, approvals are rising or climbing, and we need to also continue to monitor the trip cost that's associated with this ridership program. We know it's expensive to transport people. It's important to do, but it's expensive for sure. And that things could also be changing soon in terms of the invitation to negotiate for paratransit providers. That could result in some modified service types and access as well. So some next steps, pending approval here, we will send the TDSP to the CTD. And then a major update is upcoming in fall of 2027. And with that, I'm looking for a motion to approve the TDSP annual report.
Thank you very much for that. Are there any public comments on this item?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. Any board members have any questions or comments on this particular item? You all are quiet today. Is it the rain? No questions, no comments? Okay. Miller, you want to say something, Miller? No. All right. Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve fiscal year 2027 Transportation Disadvantage Service Plan. There's no further discussion. I ask for a motion.
We need a roll call vote for
We need
this
a
one.
roll call
Sorry,
vote
I
for
should have let
this
you
one.
know.
All right. Roll call vote. Right. But we need to have a motion.
Yeah, motion second first, and then we can roll call.
So move.
All right. Is there a second?
Louis in a second.
All right. Think it's been moving properly second. And of course, we're gonna now go to a roll call vote.
DeAndre Poole,
Yes.
Wendang,
Yes.
Mallory Senate. Michael Corbett.
Yes.
Adam Rebeck,
Yes.
Marlene Ramnon is excused. Laura Schultz,
Yes.
Isis Williams is excused. Ariel Richardson. Tatiana Gilliard. Robert Goodman is excused. Judy Shanley. Nancy Yarnell.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you so very much. Right. We have any partner agencies that have any presentations on today?
Ron, you got any updates for us? Palm Train connection wise? No updates? No news is good news? Great.
Everything is spectacular.
Good.
Wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. Any questions for any members from the committee? None. Well, I'd encourage you, if you can, to just, continue to track the county master plan status. I know it will go back to the board next month, and I'll make sure to be there as well to, if anything, make sure I get the information that I can come back and share with the committee as well. So our next meeting, and I encourage you too as well to participate in some of the workshops that MPO has set up as much as you can. I try to participate as often as I can, and it's educational, and at the same time we're doing this work, so it also is good to know what's going on and how transportation is truly advancing in the county. So I think we all here are representing our respective organizations, and it'd be good for us if to be included in that, to expose ourselves to a lot of it. And that's all I have to say. When anything?
Yeah.
Oh, Judy.
Judy, but I do have
Judy
something.
Stanley, I have a question. Is there a URL or web resource that you would direct us to be able to follow the master plan progress? Can you put it in the minutes,
Absolutely.
maybe?
Brian's gonna come. Believe it's PBC move. Brian, you can go ahead.
PBCmoves.org.
Okay.
And that's the URL for the County Transportation Master Plan.
Yeah, pbcmoves.org. And the nice thing of what the consultants are recommending, or actually not recommending, but part of the deal would be a website that the city and the county will have a regular workflow of projects, and they'll be able to track in real time, but it'll require county staff and city staff to make those updates regularly to that. That's right, correct, Brian? Yeah.
I believe that is a recommendation, yes.
A living document is what they're saying, referring to this.
Also, if you ever browse the MPO website, it's actually very useful, a very robust GIS database that actually has a lot of projects that's related to, service areas and recommendations that, that's already in our existing plans for the county. I do have one comment to add, especially for Parking Day that's coming up on September 18th. It's actually the 20th year anniversary of Parking Day. So I think it's an exciting year. So this year, myself and our team, and we're transportation engineers and locally, will be volunteering with the DDA, just one block over on Clematis. And it's going to, and we're partnering with the DDA and Clematis Paul's. So we're going to have a yappy hour. September 18th happens to be on a Friday afternoon. So there'll be yappy hours, and there's about 15 dog-owned businesses that is participating. And then one of the things that we're rebuilding is repurposing a parking space into a pop-up dog park in the downtown area. So it'll be a really fun event, and there'll be more information. The DDA is going to be advertising it, so I'm looking forward to seeing everybody participating with us.
Wonderful. Right. All right. Well, I think we have come to the end of our agenda for this meeting, and our next meeting is scheduled for October 28th, 2026. All right. And that's when we will convene. I will now ask, we are adjourned. We are adjourned at 2:37 p.m.